to the Barney Scott Gymnasium here at Seymour, Indiana, the finals of the Seymour Boys Regional Basketball Tournament. I'm Tom Gross alongside again tonight, Tom Rust. And Tom, we couldn't have asked for a greater tournament to broadcast than this tournament. 4 great teams starting today, and we're down to 2 tonight, each team with only 2 losses on the year.
Yeah, it's a real cliche to say that it's a shame that 2 teams had to lose. Maybe the 2 teams that lost this afternoon were 2 of the better teams in the state. But we've got 2 great teams tonight in Bedford and Scottsburg. We've also got a little history on the way in that Damon Bailey could possibly become the all-time leading scorer in Indiana. And we've got a full house here to see that, to see whether or not Scottsburg can pull off the second upset of the day and knock off Bedford.
I know Damon needs just 6 points to reach the coveted 3,000 mark. Then he needs another 19 to tie Marion Pierce's record. So he would need 1 more than that, or 26 tonight, to go into the history books as the all-time greatest scorer in Indiana. That will be exciting if it happens this evening.
Yeah, that really will. But on the other hand, I don't think that Damon's really concentrating on that. He doesn't seem to ever be conscious of any of the records that he has. The big one tonight is whether or not Bedford can get out of here alive without getting knocked off by a pretty good Scottsburg team.
Tom has a special interview for us now. One of the coaches from this morning's game, Coach Jim Miller. Tom, take it away.
All right, thank you, Tom. We do have Coach Jim Miller with us, and I'll tell you, it takes a real class guy to come in here after a loss today and stand before our cameras. Jim, first of all, how are the kids doing?
Well, they're doing okay. They worked so hard the last couple of years for us and gave us a lot of victories. And then to kind of, I thought we fell flat. I didn't think that we had 4 kids that were playing up to potential today out of our 6. And you can't beat very many people with just 2 players that were playing up to capabilities. So it's tough. Kids bounce back a lot better than old men, so that's good.
Tell me this, Jim. Did Scottsburg surprise you with anything when they came out on the floor? Did they come at you pretty much with what you thought they would?
Now they were going to run that matchup zone against us. We tried to get 2 or 3 of our outside shooters into the ball game. You know, when you look at it, we have 4 kids in double figures, but they're only 12, 13-point average. Our 5th man had a 10-point average or a 9-point average. So we knew there we didn't have very many good shooters, because when you figure it out, that's about 3 points a quarter for every kid. That's a basket and a free throw. So you're not a really great shooting team. And we thought we had to get we did get some easy, great shots behind some screens on the corners and the wings, but they just wouldn't go down. We've had that before. Our defense has carried us in those nights. The Providence game, the North Central game, North Florida, the Jennings County game, and even the Bloomington North game. So we've had some games where we just weren't very good shooting ball club, but and also then we moved the ball pretty well to compensate. We didn't do that. We had 4 unforced turnovers in the first quarter, and some of them just never did get on track. But we've had a good 2 years with this group of kids, and I'm really proud of what they've been able to accomplish. They beat Damon and company, and they were able to give us our 500th win, and we were co-champions of the conference. And so it's been a good year for us. And I really think that they weren't really a Final Four team. But on the other hand, I thought we put ourselves in a position where we could have gotten to the Final Four. And that's what's disappointing.
Let me ask you this now. You beat Bedford. Scottsburg beat you. Has Scottsburg really got a legitimate chance on this night in front of this size crowd, you think, to knock Bedford off?
No, I don't believe so. I think I just think that Bedford will play with a lot more intensity. They'll have 5 or 6 kids that will come a lot harder at the boards. And of course, they got the man, you know. That will be the difference. Also, the Bush kid will hit the outside jump shot like he's falling off a cliff, and that'll be a big difference.
Well, Jim, we really appreciate your coming by. I hope that down there in the second row, that's not the seat you'd like, but I hope you can enjoy the game.
Well, we're not going to enjoy it, but I enjoy watching good basketball, and it should be a good basketball game.
All right, thank you. That's Jim Miller, the head coach in New Albany, the team that fell victim to Scottsburg this afternoon. Let's take it back up to Tom, or whatever we're doing here, and take it away.
Today's live broadcast of the Indiana High School Basketball Regional Tournament from Seymour, Indiana is brought to you in part by Aebersold Florist, serving New Albany and the Louisville metro area. By the All-Star Bar and Grill, Southern Indiana's only sports bar is in Clarksville. Dennis Hot and Company, serving New Albany and the greater Louisville metro area. By Wayman Chrysler Products in Scottsburg. Your Dodge dealer. Live from Seymour, Indiana, it's Indiana High School basketball action, the regional finals. Here on March the 10th, 1990. Glad you're with us tonight. Welcome to all of you from all around Southern Indiana, New Albany, Floyd's Knobs, Clarksville, Scottsburg, Bedford, and Seymour. Glad you're with us tonight. We're looking for history to be made in this basketball game. But on the other hand, Tom, we're looking for a good final here tonight between Scottsburg and Bedford.
That's really correct. There's some interesting history that goes into this game. A few years ago, a couple of fans just walked up to me and told me that they were really excited about this because Scottsburg used to play Bedford, and then when they saw Damon coming down the line, apparently 2 or 3 years ago, I guess 3 or 4 years ago, they dropped Bedford off the schedule in order to play Crothersville. And some of the Bedford fans are a little bit upset about it, and they're kind of glad to see Scottsburg out here on the floor. This is the first time that these two teams have met since Scottsburg took Bedford off the schedule.
Bedford advanced to the final tonight by defeating Charlestown earlier today in game number 2 by the score of 65 to 51. Scottsburg gained their berth in the finals with an upset victory over New Albany, 48 to 46. Talking with a couple of the fellows from Madison radio station earlier this afternoon, they said Scottsburg is a team that has been highly underrated all season long, has not been included in the top 20 poll, but yet is a team that can beat a lot of teams, especially some of the teams that are ranked highly in the poll in the state. So they are a team that can sneak up on you. The question tonight is, can they sneak up on the Bedford Stars? Here's your career scoring leaders. As you see, Marion Pierce, 3,019, set back in Louisville High School, 1961. Damon Bailey, after his 28-point performance this morning, now has 2,994. 6 will get him the 3,000 mark. Another 19 will get him the tie, and 26 points tonight. He will become the all-time leading scorer in Indiana high school basketball history. Arlie Andrews, number 3, 2,772. With Tom with the three-point line in high school basketball, we will see Damon's record fall in the years to come, I'm sure.
I think that might be true, particularly because there also are a lot of good shooters, and we're not so much into what we used to be in Indiana basketball, what we call now a half-court game, but we play a lot more of an up-tempo transition-type game where it's kind of a run and gun. And even though Bedford hasn't played that, I think 100-point games will become pretty common, and I would imagine that somewhere down the line somebody will take a shot at Damon's record and they will be able to pick it up. It was interesting in my conversation that I had a little bit earlier there with Coach Jim Miller in New Albany. He doesn't really think that Scottsburg's in too good a position tonight to win. He thinks that perhaps Bedford will hit an emotional peak out here and really run off with this one. I'm not sure. I think that Scottsburg might be at an emotional peak too. The thing that I kind of am concerned about for Scottsburg's sake is the fact that they might have had pretty much of it all taken out of them as far as emotion goes in their big win against New Albany, and you might see them come out a little bit flat. Bedford, on the other hand, played a rather lethargic game this afternoon. They did not play as good as they can play. This is the big one for them, and they might be ready to roll.
You see the shots of the crowd here? Although only 2 teams remain, there will not be an empty seat in this house because there is a crowd here that will probably surpass the crowd we had today. All the seats are taken, and I do know there have been some extra press credentials issued. Some other people have been issued passes in. Standing room only crowd here tonight. All the standing areas are full. They have flags up to guard the entrance and exit areas for the teams. There are that many people here. And if you look at either end of the court, as we will here, you will see the media that is represented. All the shooting areas for photographers are completely full at both ends of the court, so folks are going to have to wait their turn as to when the team will be at their end. So the guys who got here early at the other end of the court hopefully will get that one snapshot of Bailey making the basket that sets the record, and we will be here live to bring it to you.
Tom, I know I'm happy to be here. In fact, I'm kind of doing a little something with my program. I'm getting all the coaches to sign this because I want to take this home and frame it. I don't care who wins. It's going to be a big night. It'll be the last time I'll ever see Damon Bailey in high school. If Scottsburg would be here to upset him, it, of course, would be Damon Bailey's final high school game, and that really would be something.
There's the general, Bobby Knight. He's sitting to our left here from our broadcast area, and he's here to see his player that may be starting point guard for him next year. Who knows? Damon Bailey, a player that he touted when he was an 8th grader, Tom.
That's exactly right. He wrote him in John Feinstein's book, Season on the Brink. Came back to practice and told Stu Robinson and a few others that Damon in the 8th grade was better than they were right at that moment. And, you know, that, of course, has been said that that was just something to get Indiana fired up. But I know some people who are not necessarily prejudiced who said that perhaps it really wasn't that far off, that Damon perhaps as an 8th grader or a freshman could have played at least a major role in Bedford North Lawrence, and maybe even as a sophomore or a junior could have played for IU. Here he comes. He's being announced, and he's being followed by 3 cameras as he walks out on the floor. I'll tell you, I'm not sure he'll miss that next year.
I don't think he'll see that next year. Here's your starting lineup for the Bedford North Lawrence Stars.
All right, they will start off with a couple of guards in Dwayne Curry and Chad Mills. Curry is a 5'9" senior, averaging 5 points a game. Mills, a 6-foot junior, averaging 6 points a game. The forward, the one and only, number 32, Damon Bailey, 6'3" senior, on his way to IU, averaging 32 a game. And Jamie Cummings, a 6'1" senior, averaging 8 points a game. And then at the center, number 22, Jason Lambrick. Lambrick, a 6'2" junior, averaging 9.5 a game. And of course, the man you don't see who could really be a key in this game is the one coming off the bench, and that is Alan Bush. He had 17 this afternoon. He averages 11 a game.
Now here's your starting lineup for the Scottsburg Warriors under the direction of Randy Snodgrass, 22-2 on the year.
All right, they'll start off in a guard spot with Johnny Gillian, number 23, a great assist man. He is averaging 9.6 a game. The other guard, Chad Marley. He's the one that got him here with his great shooting. 18-4 a game. He had 18 this afternoon against New Albany. Sean Owens and Tracy Doty will be at the forward spot. Sean Owens, a 6'4 senior. Tracy Doty, a 6'4 senior. Both of them averaging around 13 a game. And then the center, John Ashley, 6'9 senior. He only had 2 points this afternoon. Doty had 12. One thing to remember, Tom, is the fact that these guys have all played together. I said that against New Albany. They really believe in themselves. They know what everybody's going to do, and I don't think they're going to be intimidated as much as some of the other teams would be by the Stars in red.
8 minutes on the clock. We're ready to bring you the final game live from the Barney Scott Gymnasium. Quite an emotional moment for the Warriors of Scottsburg as they huddle up out near midcourt. Bring it to the sideline. The Stars of Bedford North Lawrence, they've been here before. They've been to the Final Four. In fact, Damon's freshman year, a couple of calls either way, and they could have beaten the team that went on to become the champion, Marion.
Of course, last year, this was where it all stopped for Damon and the Stars, as they were knocked off by a very good Floyd Central team and got all the way to the Final Four. They had Pat Graham, Mr. Basketball. A lot of people, including Jim Miller, have said that if they win this one tonight, they could go all the way.
We'll give you some scores later on in some of the other regionals and the teams involved in the finals tonight. We're ready to jump it up. Bailey to tip. The ball's loose. It'll be controlled by Scottsburg's Chad Marley. He gives it back to Johnny Gillian. We're underway. Gillian on the right side to Marley. Baseline. Out on top, that's Tracy Doty. Back to Marley. Inside, shot on its way, won't go down for Owens, and the rebound pulled out of there by number 40, Jason Lambert, to the other end in a hurry. Ball slapped out of bounds, defensive play by Chad Marley of the Warriors. No score, 7:35 to go first quarter.
Scottsburg has got to board. They've got to get more than one shot and really crash the boards. That's the secret, because Bedford, if they have a weak point, it's down underneath. They are not that strong.
That's Chad Mills from Bailey, and now to the near side to Cummings from outside. That's up off the iron, no good, and a big rebound there for Chad Marley. Clears it left side, Johnny Gillian, as the guard tandem brings it down. Gillian holds up, 10-footer right there. Johnny Gillian, 9.6 points per game. He only had 2 points in the 48-46 win over New Albany, but a big basket here to get his team on the board first. There you see Randy Snodgrass. Here's Bailey from 3. Got it! There's one thing on the mind of about 8,200 people in here, and they want to see 3-0-2-0 from that man tonight. We've got a traveling violation on Johnny Gillian. That'll be a turnover for Scottsburg.
It is bedlam in here, I will tell you. It's as loud as it can get.
Bailey will do the inbounding for the Bedford Stars. 29-97 for Damon Bailey. 3-point range. Top of the key. Works it around to the right side. Number 10 for Bedford is Dwayne Curry as the tempo slows a bit. Bailey works inside. Offensive foul on Damon Bailey.
Oh, that's a call he won't often get at home, but the officials here are going to call him a little closer in that time. Good move as number 22, Tracy Doty, popped out there.
Damon looks like the knee is hurting him a bit as he works on it. Inbounds pass, a lot of pressure being applied by Wayne Curry, but Scottsburg able to break the press. Spoke too soon, ball's loose. And we've got a foul. Going to be called, I believe, on Scottsburg, number 24. Sean Owens picks up his first. Team's first.
Let's take a look at the replay and you'll see what happened here. He tried to go through. It's hard to cut through there. Lost his balance, lost the ball, everybody going for it. And we got the foul out of that. And as you can see, there'll be a lot of towels out on the floor tonight. It is very hot in here with everybody packed in. It's pretty warm outside for March. A lot of the players sweating a little more than they normally would. In fact, we've seen balls fly out of kids' hands today. We've seen players, including Damon, go to the floor hard. Everybody will try to keep it dry.
Bedford leads it 3-2 on the Bailey three-pointer. 6 minutes to go first quarter. Curry back to Cummings. To the near side to Chad Mills. Mills with it, looks for Bailey inside as he posts up down low. Bailey wants a basketball, but Scottsburg a good job with this zone that has impressed me all morning long and is impressing me again here against Bedford.
Oh, they play a very tough matchup zone, and I'll tell you, they are really a clawing, aggressive group out there. And they're trying to get Bailey open, but it's tough underneath.
There he goes. Bailey inside, works out of trouble, dishes the ball out, and Bedford controls. Bailey from 3. Missed it. Rebound pulled out of there by the big guy. Number 30, John Ashley. That would have been 3,000 had it gone. Inside it goes to Owens. Bounce pass left side, Ashley. He'll put it up off the glass and in.
Well, he rammed that baby home off the glass. Looked like he almost shot it at a downward angle.
So for the Warriors, the two fellas that only scored 2 apiece off the starting lineup this morning, each have the first 2 buckets for Scottsburg, and they lead it. Here's Bailey inside. 2-9, 9-9 for Damon Bailey. 5-4, Bedford back on top.
That was a nice pass underneath. Scottsburg had it pretty well defensed, and they still got it in there.
Here's a steal. Fake, up, and missed it. Foul will be on Tracy Dottie. That's his first and the team's second.
That's the third Scottsburg turnover. Bedford does not have any yet. Scottsburg with a little bit of the jitters. Bedford coming out to meet him at the half-court line. It's a little tough to get that ball down into their forecourt.
It'll be Jamie Cummings at the line. Cummings, 8 points in game 1 today, puts it up and in. Tom, Bedford, a good free throw shooting team, as was evident in game 1 today.
That's exactly right. They shot 83%.
Up and in. As you saw there, Cummings hit 5 of 6 this morning from the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And Bedford now has a 3-point lead, 7-4. Round the horn goes Gillian. Shot up and in. Didn't waste any time. He's got 4 points. 7-6. The Bedford lead down to 1. Bailey, right wing area, goes toward the baseline, kicks it out to Cummings. Down to the 4-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Bedford with a 1-point lead. Cummings works with Dwayne Curry. Round the horn they go. Cummings into Bailey. He'll put it up, and it won't go down for him, but he's fouled.
Boy, he works nice down underneath. He is just very patient, sliding back and forth across the lane till he gets something. And when they drop it down to him, he goes up hard, even though he's triple teamed.
The foul's on the big guy, John Ashley, who had some foul trouble in the first game. That's his first, the team's third. Damon Bailey, with this point, will reach the 3,000-point career plateau if he sinks it here. And he'll have a 2-shot attempt. $3,000. 19 to go. 8-6. Bedford by 2. 18 to go. 3,001. Bedford 4 for 4 from the stripe. And pressure against the Warriors as they take a 3-point lead, 9-6. Here's a steal to Bailey, and he's fouled.
Yeah, that's not a smart foul either. Chad Marley didn't try to get over, just kind of reached in. Actually reached in with the wrong hand. Tom, I'm afraid the prophecy that we talked about a little bit earlier in that Scottsburg might have lost it all and come out a little bit flat seems to be true. They just don't seem to have it here in the evening session. And New Albany Bedford is really playing very well. They've almost controlled the whole game in this end of the floor.
Cummings with it, top of the key. But a lot of basketball to go yet. Long way from a winner in this one. Curry, Cummings around the horn. 22 was Chad Mills. Cummings wanted to shoot. Shovel pass to Bailey. 3:15 to go first quarter. Curry with it. Cummings around the Mills. Now Bailey up and missed it. Rebound pulled down by John Ashley. 9-6. As the Warrior fans get up, wanting a basket here. Left corner it goes to Tracy Dottie, who had 12 points in the first game today. And back to the big guy, Chad Marley, puts it up, missed it. Rebound pulled out of there by number 22. That's Chad Mills, quickly to the forecourt. Bailey travels.
Something you don't see very often. Mr. Bailey committing a traveling violation. Down on the other end, something I noticed was Marley seems to be forcing it a little bit. He had a man open and he was double teamed. He tried to put up that shot off the glass. It didn't work.
Scottsburg with the basketball. Marley in the forecourt. Fans wanting a foul. Marley puts it up from 15 feet off the iron too hard. Ball's loose. Rebound to Ashley. The Warriors control. Bounce pass inside. Turn around. Good. Number 24, Sean Owens. And
nice turnaround.
We've got timeout. The officials see some wet areas on the floor, and we may see that a lot tonight. It is very humid in this gymnasium.
That's a smart move by the official. As we said, we've had a lot of players go down today, and you don't want to see anybody hurt, particularly at a championship cause such as this. Kind of interesting to look at Bob Knight about 50 feet away over there. No emotion whatsoever. He's enjoying himself, but he looks as intense as if this were Michigan State out here, and his team were the one in red.
9-8, Bedford by 1. They have the basketball. Cummings with the top of the key, gives it back up. Shot on the way from Mills won't go down. And the rebound pulled down by number 2, Tracy Dottie. Quickly into the forecourt goes Johnny Gillian. Shot on the way from Dottie, in and out, won't go. Bailey with a rebound, had a dozen boards in game 1 today. Damon into the paint, off balance, feeds it inside. The shot up and blocked from behind with a foul.
It was a nice pass, but Damon might have been better off just to go ahead and put that one in. A lot of people have said that Damon does not hurt his team in any way, but he almost comes to the point of hurting it by not shooting enough. He could easily score about 40, 45 points a game if he wanted to. Watch this. Now watch him. He goes up, looks like he's wide open. Everybody beat. He's right there, and all of a sudden there's a pass that's not needed.
They called the foul on John Ashley, his second personal. We have 1:44 to go here in the first quarter. Bedford leads it by 1, 9-8. This morning, Landrick was 2 of 3, 66%, also 66% from the stripe, and 4 of 6. Jason puts this one in. Bedford 5 of 5 from the charity line. A big reason why they're on top right now, 10-8. But there's a miss. And the rebound pulled down by Johnny Gillian. To the other end. Shot on the way. Won't go down for Marley. Rebound. Dottie up. Missed it. He's fouled by his opposite number, Chad Mills, number 22.
Nice fake that time by Dottie to get into that. Marley's still having trouble hitting it. He's 0 for 3, and he just can't seem to find the range. Here you see his shot. It is off. It's a brick. Doty comes back. Nice fake. Goes up and gets that foul. I'm sorry. I was going to say Scottsburg really does play fine defense, though, holding Bedford to 10 here in the first quarter.
Dottie, 86% free throw shooter this morning. 12 points in game number 1 in the New Albany win. And he's right there with it. Leading free throw shooter on the team on the season now, 88%. Followed closely by Sean Owens and Johnny Gillian. 10-9. We got a tie ball game, folks. 10-10. As Dottie gets his first 2 from the charity stripe here in quarter number 1 with 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. New man in the ball game is number 20, Alan Bush. We knew he'd be in. Sophomore, son of head coach Dan Bush. And he lit it up from three-point range, scoring 15 of his 17 points from outside today. 5 of 7 from downtown. He'll step in, shoot the shorter shot off the glass and in. Alan Bush, little 10-foot banker's good. 12-10, and the Warriors lose the ball out of bounds. Turnover. Bedford will have the basketball in the forecourt.
They just need to get through this first quarter. They've got the shakes big time right now. 5 turnovers, Bedford with only 1. That's Damon's traveling call. And Damon posting low, now he comes out.
Bailey on the right wing, top of the key to Chad Mills. Mills works it to Jamie Cummings as the Warriors crowds in it. Bailey from 3, missed it. But the rebound right there is Mills, up and in.
Nice play by Chad Mills. Kind of hard for a guy his size to ram it in, but it looked like he did. Also looked like he might have stepped on the line down there.
14-10, Bedford builds a 4-point lead with 24 seconds. You see the clock? Doty with it. Gives it up to Ashley, to Gillian, and then Marley. Marley spinning move. He'll put it up from three-point range. Missed it. Ball's loose. Doty with 6 seconds. He scores. 2-1. Bush from half court. Short. Into the hands of John Ashley. So we've completed 1 quarter of this Seymour Regional Final basketball game between the Bedford Stars and the Scottsburg Warriors, and Bedford holds a 2-point lead by the score of 14-12. You're watching the regional final live via Cardinal Interconnect Sports.
Now we got
Today's live broadcast of Indiana High School Basketball Regional. Bedford inbounds the basketball as we begin quarter number 2. Bush from three-point range. It won't go down. Tipped around on the inside, and a foul. Going to be whistled against Jason Lambrick. That'll be his first. The team's third. 7:48 to go in the first half. Bedford leads it by 2, 14-12. Scottsburg will inbound the basketball full court.
Now some quick first quarter stats. Bedford 4 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from three-point range. That was Damon hitting the opener. Scottsburg 5 for 10 from the field. They are 0 for 1 from three-point range. A brick by Marley.
Layup is good. Off-balance shot by Johnny Gillian. 6 points for Gillian. We're tied
right
again.
back in it. Tied at 14.
10 and 14, we've been tied. Bailey in traffic. To Bush. Bounce pass into Bailey. Goes up strong. He gets it.
Nice shot by Bailey that time. Again, working down the low post, getting that ball and popping it in.
16-14. Bedford by 2 points and a traveling violation. This time against the Scottsburg Warriors. Another turnover, Tom.
They've got 6 of them, and again, they just look tired. They just look like that their big game against New Albany has taken it out of them, both physically and emotionally. It's the middle of the second quarter, and they just look like they're dragging.
Bush with the basketball. Little pitch and catch inside Bailey again. He's in traffic, dishes it out. Shot on the way is good.
What a pass.
Jason Lambrick, his first bucket. He has 3 points. It's an 18-14 lead for Bedford with 6:45 to go here in the first half. Right side, Johnny Gillian. Out on top to Tracy Dowdy. He'll try from the free throw line. He got it. He now has 6 points. And the lead cut back to 2, 18-16, 6.5 minutes to go in the half. Cummings bounce pass inside to Mills, puts up the one-hander and scores.
And there was a good example of Scottsburg looking tired. Nobody moved. Mills cut across the lane, got the ball. Everybody kind of looked at him, and he went up and put it in.
Johnny Gillian with it on the right side. Bounce pass out on top. Dowdy again. Missed it this time in the rebound. Pulled out of there by Jamie Cummings. 20-16. Bedford by 4. They have the basketball. Bush to Bailey. Bailey to the left wing. Out to Bush. Back to Bailey once again. Lob pass. Lambrick. He'll take it right side. And give it up to Jamie Cummings. And into Bailey on the right wing. Cummings fakes the 3. Back to Bailey. Cummings again. Bounce pass inside. There's a move. Layup blocked away nicely by Ashley. Trying to save it. Number 22, Chad Mills, and it belongs to Scottsburg.
I don't think Coach Dan Bush was terribly happy about that one, but it looked like he was on the line. There you can see it. There you see, before he goes up in the air, he does have that inside foot on the line, so that's a good call by the officials.
Marley with the basketball, right side baseline, works inside. He's in trouble. Gives it out there to Owens. Then out on top to Gillian. And back to Mr. Marley. He'll put it up from the free throw line. Won't go down. Ball tipped around. Coming out of there with it, Lambrick pats it over to Bush. And Scottsburg fans wanting to travel there as 2 players tangle. Cummings with it. 5 minutes to go, first half. Bedford by 4, 20-16. Bush from 3, no. Rebound to Gillian. He's on the break. He'll take it himself, up and in. 2018, the Warriors staying right with the Stars here.
Scottsburg might want to go to him. He is 4 for 4. Marley can't hit the side of a barn. They might want to go to Gillian a little bit more to see if he can't get some offensive punch going here.
Bush with the basketball. Yet to connect from downtown. Cummings fakes the shot. Bush, little hesitant to take the three now. Bailey. Bush via Jamie Cummings. Cummings gets it back. He'll try from downtown. Off the iron, no good. Rebound by Tracy Dottie. Scottsburg could tie or take the lead on this trip. Down to the 4-minute mark we go here in the first half. 20 for Bedford, 18 for the Warriors of Scottsburg. Inside pass. Owens tries to go up. In trouble. Puts it up. Missed it. The follow-up and in. Johnny Gillian ties the score once again for the third time at 20-20.
Well, amazing. They're right back in it. Early in the New Albany game, it looked like Scottsburg was buried, and all of a sudden Marley started hitting and got him back in it. Tonight it's Gillian.
Cummings with the basketball. Goes to Mills. Cummings. Bush. He'll go up. Bailey there for the rebound. No, but inside is Owens, and a foul going to be called on number 40, Jason Lambert. That's his second. And the Scottsburg faithful smelling upset here early in this basketball game.
You'll see Sean Owens get an elbow in the face here. Watch this. Mills goes up. Owens gets a nice strong rebound, and that's what you call really crashing the boards here by Lambert. Looks like he caught him right in the head with an elbow. Unintentionally, but went in there a little bit out of control.
The Warriors of Scottsburg will inbound the basketball. Each team has lost but 2 games all year. Bedford 24-2 thanks to the 2 games in the Hall of Fame Classic this year. Scottsburg 22-2. So we've got 2 very nice teams going head-to-head here in this final. Gillian with it. In trouble, gives it up to Tracy Doty. Back to Gillian from 3. No. And the rebound off to Chad Mills. To Damon Bailey through the rings. To the top of the key. Bush takes it to the right side. We're down to the 3-minute mark in the first half. Tied at 20. Bush in the paint. He's in trouble. Gets it out to Jamie Cummings. And the Bedford crowd wanting a foul. Mills. Cummings and Mills. Bedford, Tom, looks a bit hesitant to shoot right now.
I think they're trying to catch their wind a little bit too. It was, anytime you play like this, it's tough.
Bailey inside, and he's fouled. Offensive foul on Bailey.
Oh, that's an interesting call.
That brings the house down.
Oh, I'll tell you, Dan Bush is really irate. There you see him on the screen. I might have to agree with him on that. That might be a mugging. Boy, listen to this. That's a standing boo. There you can see. Now you saw the charge there. The official saw the charge, but he didn't see apparently the hammer that went right before the charge. I'm afraid I'm going to have to go with the crowd on that one.
Well, the official was behind the play. He did not see the man get in front. You got to give the player going to the basket one step, and he did not do that, but that's the way the call goes. Scottsburg to the other end. The shot up won't go down. Ball slapped away underneath. Rebound pulled out of there, finally, by Paul Stevens. 20-20. We've been at 20-20, it seems like an eternity here. Down to the 2:05 mark. Cummings with the basketball, to Mills, to Cummings. Back to Mills again. Bush now. Works it around. He'll take it from 3. No. Rebound, though, inside by Stevens, and he's fouled from behind by Steve Schaefer, number 34, his first. The team has committed 5.
And Dan Bush really gives it to his son over there. He's pretty hard on him, I'll tell you. He really expects a lot out of his son. I think Allen is a little tired also, maybe a lot tired. And when you get tired, the three-pointers sometimes are the ones that hurt the most. Sometimes you just don't feel quite right. You have to put up that long shot. And I think that's Marley's problem, too. I think both of them just suffering from fatigue.
Alan Bush now with 3 points. He was perfect 2 for 2 from the line this morning. You see his stats from this morning's contest: 17 points, 5 of 8. He was 5 of 7 from 3-point range. Second shot won't go down. And the rebound pulled out of there by number 23, Johnny Gillian. As Bedford misses their second free throw. 6 of 8 tonight as a team. At the other end, Owens can't get it to go. Bailey with a rebound. 21-20. Up and in. Stevens, and a foul by number 24, Sean Owens.
Nice play by Stevens. He got free under there. Put that ball up. He was kind of stuck under the rim, but he got up and got his right hand from under the basket. Put it in. Damon gave him a nice feed, too. Now watch the replay. Here comes Damon. He throws such nice passes. There it is, a little dump pass. And there you can see Stevens going up actually with 3 men on him in a crowd. Got the 2.
All Stevens, perfect. 4 points today in game 1. And he connects again. Stevens with 3 points. 24-20. Bedford has opened up a 4-point advantage. Bailey gets it from Bush after the turnover. Bailey with it. And contact down low. As players jostle for position, Tracy Dottie, I believe, is going to pick up the personal foul. Number 22. It is on Tracy. That'll be his second personal foul.
Scottsburg, again, the fatigue looking like it's got to him. And that's where the fouls come in, especially when you get down low and you start banging a little bit. And Bedford, as we have seen, a great shooting free throw team. Great free throw shooting team.
Stevens up and in. Paul Stevens, 4 points tonight.
He hasn't missed all day at anything.
He is perfect on the day. Perfect for the regional. That would be nice. Another one? Yeah, it's destiny, baby. That's how I'd feel. 26-20. Bedford builds a 6-point lead. Marley flips it out to Gillian. Top of the key, little one-on-one shake and bake move, and baked himself right into a violation.
That word again, fatigue. Normally that would be a nice, easy play, but as you can see, your legs get a little rubbery. And that's what looked like what happened in there. As Gillian started to make that move, it just looked like he kind of lost it a little bit. I'll tell you, 2 games in one day, I don't care where it is, it's tough.
A lot of people in favor of going back to the Friday night, Saturday night format, and the voting may go that way. But then again, it may not. Strange state. Bush, 3 on the way, got it!
Well, they left him open that time, and he can certainly hit it out there. Jim Miller says he'll hit it falling off a cliff. That's about right.
29-20, Bedford opens up a 9-point advantage. Marley in traffic, dishes off to Owens. Back to Marley. From behind, loses the basketball. Bush.
Scottsburg with 9 turnovers, Bedford with 2. That's really the difference. There's just too much dribbling and not enough actual movement.
10 seconds. Watch your clock. Mills. There's Bailey. He'll put it up. Got it!
That first point he made this play.
A 3-pointer for Damon Bailey. And the Bedford Stars open up a 12-point advantage over Scottsburg, 32-20. Bailey with 12 points in the game thus far, and getting ever so close to becoming the all-time leading scorer, and these fans want to see it. He needs to match that to tie as we'll set our Damon clock for you and keep you updated here. Let's take a look at scoring here in the first half of tonight's final basketball game. For Bedford North Lawrence, Jamie Cummings with 2 from the free throw line. Jason Lambrick has 3. Chad Mills with 4 points. Alan Bush has 6 points. Paul Stephen has 5 points. And Damon Bailey with 12 points for the Bedford Stars. On the Scottsburg ledger, Tracy Dottie has 6 points. Sean Owens has 2 points. John Ashley has 2 points. And the leading scorer for the Warriors at halftime is Johnny Gillian. He has 10 points in the basketball game. Bedford led it by the score of 14-12 at the end of the first quarter, but they've opened up a 32-20 lead at halftime. They hold the Warriors to just 8 points in the second quarter. Tom Rust is working his way down to the floor area, and we hope to talk with the commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, Eugene Cato, in just a moment. We are live from Seymour High School Gymnasium, the boys regional final. Today's live broadcast of the Indiana High School Basketball Regional Tournament from Seymour, Indiana is brought to you in part by Amersfoort Florist, serving New Albany and the Louisville metro area. By the All-Star Bar and Grill, Southern Indiana's only sports bar is in Clarksville.
Barney Scott Gymnasium in Seymour, 32-20. Bedford has pulled out to a big 12-point lead. And we are privileged to have with us tonight as our special guest at halftime, the IHSAA Commissioner, Gene Cato. Gene, it is certainly Hoosier hysteria here tonight. What else do you say?
Well, it certainly is, and I think every fan in this gymnasium is just waiting for a record to be broken.
I'll tell you, there are so many stories in this gym tonight. You can bring in a team of reporters, everybody can do a different story, and you can go on forever. You've got the underdog Scottsburg playing, you've got Damon Bailey going for that record, you've got, of course, the natural story here about Bedford trying to win the regional and get on to semi-state. Which one of these do you think is the biggest?
Well, I'd really hesitate to say at this point in the tournament, each game is a very important one. And Damon Bailey has had the hearts of a lot of people in the state of Indiana for 4 years, and I think that's why we could have probably held this game tonight in any field house in Indiana, and it probably would have been a sellout.
You know, we're talking about this game. This is probably the biggest of the games as far as what's going on around Indiana. But Hoosier hysteria is still alive. There still is a lot of basketball support in the state, isn't there?
Yes, I think, you know, I'll give you a little insight on 2 weeks from now. We are sure that we're going to break an all-time high school attendance record in our state tournament, and we feel we've got a wonderful chance of possibly reaching 40,000.
That's wonderful. This is also the state tournament now moves to the Hoosier Dome. Is that correct, from Market Square? When does that happen?
This is the first year that we've taken it to the Hoosier Dome. This is the first time in 61 years that the fans of the state has had an opportunity to purchase a ticket other than through their member school.
Let me ask you this, too, as you come in, and now this is your second site today. You started out this morning at Indianapolis, and you saw a pretty good game up there, didn't you?
I saw an outstanding high school basketball game between two fine teams, the defending state champs and Pike High School of Indianapolis.
Now you get to a lot of different sites. Do you have people covering all the other sites tonight, checking out, seeing what's going on?
Well, we don't have that much personnel to cover them all, but each of us tries to see 2 per day. And Mr. Kraft has been at Evansville, Washington. Bob Gardner has been at Elkhart and Washington, East Chicago Central. Bob Williams has been at Lafayette, and I believe is going to Richmond tonight. so we cover at least half of them today.
I'll tell you this, as people now, when we look at this tonight, we say, well, there doesn't need to be any changes whatsoever, but I know the IHSAA and the basketball committee is always taking a look. Some people say, for instance, the shot clock may come in. Do you see anything like that happening in the future down the road?
Well, I can only express my own opinion, and this would just be those of myself. I would certainly be against the shot clock, because I feel that takes away from the small schools who can play a delayed ball game. I think Lagodi High School this year is a good example, and I'm sure that we may hear more of them before this tournament is over.
We talk about the small school, and I got to ask you this question. Is there still pressure by some people, by a faction, to move to class basketball in Indiana?
Well, yes, you know, there's two sides of that coin. Those people that would like to go classification. Then the other side, which I don't think is told very often, when you go to class basketball, you're actually saying to the small school, you cannot compete. And I know I coached a number of years. I had to play against Rick Mount, Lebanon. I never was fortunate enough to beat them, but I will say this, I would certainly have been disappointed in the IHSAA if they'd have said, we will not even give you that opportunity, because on 3 occasions we came just within a bucket of getting it.
It's still a state of equality, isn't it? Anybody can win if you're good enough.
Well, I think that's true, and you know, Indiana is one of 3 states that has only one classification, and I think that's why we have 8,000 people plus here, and a lot of other sellouts around over the state tonight.
Mr. Cato, it has been a pleasure to have you stop by, and we thank you for doing this interview.
Well, thank you, and we hope to see you at the Dome in 2 weeks.
All right. All right, let's take it back to Tom upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. The winner of this basketball game tonight, as Bedford leads Scottsburg 32-20, will advance and play the winner of the West Vigo Regional. The 2 teams competing there this evening for that championship are Terre Haute North. They won it over North Putnam earlier today by the score of 73-60, and Shakamak, a winner over West Vigo 55-50. So Terre Haute North faces Shakamak. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game in game number 1 of the Terre Haute Semi-State at 11 a.m. next Saturday morning. Then in the second game that will be played at 12:30, it will be one of these 4 teams, or 2 of these 4 teams, I should say, going for the title. Lagodi, 24-0, is playing North Harrison, 18-6 on the year. Lagodi with a 69-53 win over West Washington. North Harrison defeated Forest Park, a really rugged small school who stayed in it until overtime of that game, and North Harrison came out the winner 81-75. So Lagodi and North Harrison going head-to-head tonight in the Washington Regional. And the other is the Evansville Regional, where Evansville Bossy was a winner by the score of 79-55 over Vincennes, and Castle by 2 over O.C. Wood, 77-75. So Bossy and Castle going at it head-to-head tonight. Those are your 8 teams remaining in the Terre Haute Semi-State, and we will have 4 winners tonight that will move on to play in the Semi-State and look for 1 representative to move on to Market Square Arena. You see the stats as Damon warms up. 3,006 career points. He needs just 11 points here in the second half to tie the record. 12 points in the second half will make him the all-time scorer in Indiana high school basketball history. And this crowd, the entire crowd, has come to its feet each time that ball leaves his hands toward the hoop.
You think it's hot up here and you think it's exciting up here, you should be down there. It is really something. You can just feel the excitement. I mean, you can cut it with a knife, literally. And I would assume that if he breaks that record, which I think he's probably got a good shot at doing here in the second half, they may have to delay the game for a few seconds. I hope they delay the game next time so I have a few seconds to get up here, too. Boy,
There you go. Well, you ran.
I'm losing weight.
We're going to have to get Eric Dickerson to work with you a little bit on how to dodge traffic.
Well, the line at the concession stand is the biggest obstacle. There's about 40 people in it. You can't get through.
Well, you know, with the heat the way it is, I bet they're selling a few soft drinks tonight.
No, people don't want anything to drink. They're just taking ice, I think, and putting it down their back.
32-30 your score. Scottsburg will go to the left of your screen here in the second half of action. And Bedford will play to the bucket to the right side as we're underway in quarter number 3. Quickly, the shot up, rims out, won't go down for number 23, Johnny Gillian. And the rebound pulled down by Jamie Cummings. He gives it up to Damon Bailey and gets it back in the forecourt now with 7:44 to go, third quarter. Cummings with the basketball. Bounce pass to Bailey. Bailey looks inside and feeds it out to Mills. Mills fires it to Cummings. Left side baseline. He'll drive from three-point range right there. Jamie Cummings. He has 5 points, 35-20. A 15-point Bedford lead, their largest of the basketball game. In the forecourt, contact. As number 10, Dwayne Curry picks up his first personal foul. That's the team's first here in the second half. As you see, Randy Snodgrass got the sleeves rolled up, the tie unloosened. He's here to work.
Just a couple quick stats. At halftime, Bedford is 10 for 20 from the field. Scottsburg is 9 for 20. You can see it's a defensive battle.
Ball almost lost. There's a three by Marley. It's short air ball, tapped out of bounds by Sean Owens. Bedford will have the ball back. 7:09 to go, third quarter. Bedford 35, Scottsburg 20.
That poor kid who was the hero of the first game is just having a terrible night. He's got 1 rebound and he is 0 for 7 from the field. He just can't hit anything.
Bailey with the basketball. Top of the key goes right side to Cummings. Bounce pass down low. Shot up off the side of the backboard. Pulled out of there, rebound-wise, Tracy Doty. 35-20 your score. Bedford on top. The Warriors bring it into the forecourt. Here's the shot on the way and good. And Chad Marley gets his first bucket of the basketball game, much like game 1 today, Tom, when he didn't score in the first half.
He lit it up in the second half, came back, and of course he got the dribble underneath and got it in that beat New Albany. So maybe he'll be the key to bring them back. They're down significantly right now.
Bedford with the basketball. Dwayne Curry, top of the key, works it to Cummings. Clock continuing to move in favor of Bedford right now as they lead it by 13. And they will be in no hurry tempo-wise. Bailey out to get the basketball. When he gets the ball, they come on him. He just puts the shot up, missed it. Rebound out to Ashley. To the forecourt, Marley puts it up, won't go. The follow-up won't go by Doty. And a rebound by Bailey. Forward pass to Jamie Cummings. Back to Bailey. Kicks it left side. Here's the 2 on the way by Mills. It's right there.
That really provides problems for Scottsburg.
Steal. Up and in. An offensive foul on number 22, Mills, as he made a move to the basket.
I was going to say that really provides problems for Scottsburg because you've got to hope that if you've got Bailey triple team, you got to hope that everybody else is cold, and that's not really the case. Cummings hits a three-pointer, Mills hits a three-pointer, and so now that matchup zone's got to thin out a little bit. You got to go out and get those guys out there on the wings, and that means Bailey can go one-on-one, and he's deadly when he can do that.
Bounce pass comes in. Oh, ball's loose. Bedford has it. There's Bailey. He'll put it pass down low. Thought he was going to put it up. Shot up, won't go down. Tip won't go down by Lambrick. He'll go up again. He scores and he's fouled.
Well, there it is again. Bailey had the shot, gave it up. Created the problem down underneath for Scottsburg. And Scottsburg is going to get a timeout. Let's take a look at this. Damon dumps it off. Lambrick lost the handle there handle was lost a bit by number 22 Mills. Then Lambrick got it and put it in.
The foul was on Sean Owens, number 24. That is his 3rd personal foul. And the second half for the team, I believe that is their first here in the second half.
Okay, our sponsors for tonight's game, Eversold Florist, serving New Albany and the Louisville metro area. By All-Stars Sports Bar and Grill in Clarksville. By Dennis Ott & Company, construction services in New Albany. By Wayman Chrysler Plymouth, exit 29A and I-65 in Scottsburg. And by INB Bank Centers, 17 locations around Clark, Floyd, and Harrison counties.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Always ready to serve.
I helped beat up that sweat on your forehead a little bit there. I tell you what, I'll never pay for a health club again. I'll come to the Seymour Boys Regional Final. Lambrick at the free throw line. He puts it up and in. Jason with 6. And a big three-point play. 41-22, 19-point advantage. To the other end quickly. The shot on the way won't go down. Ball battled for inside, and coming out of there the winner, number 40, Jason Lambrick. Bailey to the forecourt. Bailey makes his move, and a blocking foul. Ooh.
We're not going to like that, but I think that might be a good call. There's not much yelling about it, but Gillian just never quite got set. He was sliding over there. Tough part about it was a little bit of a forearm to try to get some balance. Take a look at the replay and just see what I mean. Now watch the pass. Gillian gets out there, doesn't get set. What you didn't quite see was the forearm coming out from Chad Mills. 41-22, a 19-point lead. That is awfully tough to make up for Scottsburg. They've just had a really bad shooting throughout the whole game.
Number 20, Jeff McNeely checks in the basketball game for Scottsburg as Coach Randy Snodgrass pulls John Ashley out. Has his quick team in now. Around the horn outside, Curry. Bailey. Curry head fake. Cummings. And then back to Curry. 4:55 to go third quarter. Bedford 41, Scottsburg 22. Inside, Bailey tries to go down low. Ball's intercepted by Jeff McNeely. Here come the Warriors. They trail by 19. 3 on the way. Off the iron, no good. The put back up and in, but we've got a foul down low on someone here. I believe that will go against Scottsburg.
Number 24, I believe, Sean Owens, trying to clear it out a little bit down there. Got his arms moving. Randy Snodgrass not terribly thrilled with that call.
Now they have yet to put up the, it's 4, so that's on Owens 24. That's his 4th personal. Second for the team here in the half. Bedford with the basketball. There's Bailey inside, puts it up. He needs 9. 3,010 for Damon Bailey. He needs 9 points to tie the record. The shot on the way at the other end won't go down. Ball battled for in there, and Lambrick comes out of there the winner. Bailey now has 14 points in this basketball game. Losing the ball, Bailey off his foot, but picked up in there by Lambrick. He puts it up and in.
Lambrick just having a fine ball game. He's kind of playing in the shadow of Damon, but he's doing a great job. He's got 7 rebounds, and I have him for 8 points. He's only missed a couple of shots, but one of the things he's really doing is neutralizing the big man down underneath for Scottsburg.
Fouls on Dwayne Curry. That'll be Curry's 2nd personal foul. Bedford has committed 3 team fouls here in the second half. 3:52 to go in the third quarter. 45-22 the score. Bedford on top comfortably right now. Scottsburg coast to coast move won't go down for number 23 Johnny Gillian, and frustration sets in a bit for Johnny. Had a sour look on his face. They really expended themselves when they beat New Albany this early session today. There's Bailey inside, 1 dribble, fakes once, twice, puts it up and in.
Need 7.
3,012 points. 7 to tie. Shot on the way, no good. Marley, rebound, Bedford. Into the forecourt comes Curry. Cummings with the basketball, back to Curry. Cummings again as Bailey posts up around the top of the free throw circle. Lob pass goes over to Chad Mills. Into Bailey. Bailey in trouble, and he traveled.
Good call by the official that time. Bailey turned around, didn't have anywhere to go, tried to shuffle him a little bit to get it through there before he got the ball down. And that's a travel.
Timeout called with 2:48 to go in the third quarter. The Scottsburg Warriors want to talk it over. Our score, Bedford 47, Scottsburg 22. You're watching the Seymour Boys section or regional final, I should say, live from the Barney Scott Gymnasium here on Cardinal Interconnect Sports.
Bedford is 6 for 10 here in the third quarter. As we said, they were 10 for 20 in the first half. So they are 16 for 30. They're still up above the 50% mark as far as their shooting goes. But I again want to emphasize the fact that I think a key player in this game, just as Alan Bush was a key player in the first game, I think a key player in this game is Jason Lambrick. He is really starting to open it up down there. He's doing really well on the boards. 7 rebounds. He hasn't had any here in last 30 seconds or so. But he had a nice assist to Bailey that time. Bailey, as he turned around and tried to get in there, shuffled it a little bit and got called for the travel. But he's doing a really nice job. In talking to the people from Bedford, they say that a different person kind of becomes a semi-hero, a number 2 man, if you will, each night. One night, Ethan Cox will come off the bench and do it. Paul Stevens has played well today. Bush, Lambrick, all of them.
Foul going to be called on number 10, Dwayne Curry, as he went hard into Chad Marley.
He gets up pretty good for a little guy. Got up high that time.
That's 3 fouls on Curry.
Here you see a breakaway when we get to the replay. Now watch this. Here's the long pass. Marley looks open. He goes up. And extending himself just about as far as he can is Dwayne Curry. Adding to the frustration of Marley. Marley has just really had a tough game.
Bedford on top by 25 points right now. 47-22 with 2:45 to go. Marley at the line.
Marley, no, he missed it. Marley is 1 for 11 from the field. And he's 0 for 1 from the free throw line.
Having a tough go of it here, puts it up and in. Marley now with 3 points, had 18 points in the win over New Albany earlier. 47-23 down to the 2:35 mark. Bedford working the motion offense right now. Bailey top of the key area. Looks for a pass. He'll go one-on-one right side. Stops, fakes, dishes back out. Gets the ball again.
Good defense by Johnny Gullion. Got him stopped. That's not easy to do.
Gonna go one-on-one. Bailey from 3, in and out. And there's oohs and ahs every time the man shoots. 47-23. Scottsburg with a rebound and the basketball. That's Gillian, and a blocking foul going to be called against Bedford.
Gillian again made a nice cut there, and Curry trying to catch up with him. Bumped into him a little bit.
That's 4 on Curry, and back into the ballgame comes Alan Bush. (47-23). At the free throw line for the Warriors, number 23, Johnny Gillian. Tom, 10 points in the ball game thus far. Make it 11.
Johnny Gillian last year held the assist record for a season at Scottsburg. He averaged 11 assists a game. Good floor man.
47-25 now as Gillian goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. He's got 12 points. Full court press being applied against Bedford. Now long lobbing pass goes to Bailey. He'll bring it in, bounce pass left side. Shot up by Lambrick won't go down, and a rebound to Ashley. Good example there of why he should have stopped and put up the little 6-footer.
He's so unselfish. In fact, it almost looks like he's thinking in the back of his mind that if he tries to score, he's going to look like he's going after the record.
Three-pointer won't go down by number 23, Gillian, and the rebound, long rebound, comes to Marley. He fills it full from downtown. Marley with 6 points. 47-28. Scottsburg cuts the lead back to 19. And an offensive foul called against Bedford. Number 12, Jamie Cummings, working the baseline against that press.
Got him over there in that corner. Didn't have anywhere to go. Tried to get out of it. Used a little bit of the forearm. Again, I don't think Dan Bush terribly happy with the call.
Scottsburg trying very, very hard to claw their way back into this basketball game. Bedford led by as many as 24 points. That's been their largest lead. Third quarter action, 1:25 to go in the third. Move, shot up. Bailey's going to pick up his third personal foul as Johnny Gilliam made a nice move on Bailey, got him up in the air, and then made the contact as he shot.
Well, that's one he'll remember for a long time. He, when you fake Bailey off his feet, you made a nice fake, and he did a good job that time. He got Damon up there, and Damon nailed him with a hit.
Randy Snodgrass and the Scottsburg Warriors fired up at the bench. They're back within 19 as Dan Bush and the Bedford Stars call a timeout. 1:21 to go here in the third quarter. 47 for Bedford, 28 for Scottsburg.
Let's take a look at this replay. You'll see Johnny Gilliam make a nice move. There he goes. Can't see him. He did a nice job there. Tried to get rid of the ball so it would be a shooting foul. And Bailey up in the air.
47-28, Bedford North Lawrence on top. The Indiana High School Athletic Association Seymour Regional Boys Basketball Final. Great crowd on hand here tonight. Full house, standing room only. Maybe a record crowd for this facility with all the press, emergency workers, policemen.
There are people across the floor that are so high, and we're up very high too. And there must be about 10 rows, 10 or 12 rows that are, I don't see how they can see anything. There's at least 1 or 2 rows that look like they're higher than rafters.
Our cameraman, Paul Clampett, may be cited for inciting a riot here. Working on the crowd. Shot up and in, number 23. Johnny Gilliam. 13 points. Gilliam only had 2 in the first game today, so he stepped into an offensive role here for Scottsburg in the finale. Trouble in River City. Bush gets it over to Bailey. Bailey comes in right side. He'll take it all the way this time. Reverse layup. He got it and he's fouled. That'll bring them to their feet.
Oh, that's for sure. Nice move that time. It looked like he could have went 2 or 3 different ways. Decided to go under the basket and come around, and he did a nice job, and that got the foul.
He needs 5.
Watch Bailey now on the replay as he's coming down the floor. There you can see him. Look like you know he's thinking. He goes in and just puts that nice softball off the glass. What a head on this kid. I mean, he just always is thinking.
Missed the free throw.
Oh, you're kidding.
18 points for Bailey. 5 points will tie. 6 will put him in the lead, and we got a player down as the shot goes up and in by Chad Marley. 2-pointer. Jamie Cummings, I believe, caught a moist floor area over there. They're calling for the towel now as his foot just went out from under him as he tried to pivot. And he went sprawling on the hardwood, and that has happened a lot today.
Yeah, there's so much sweating going on down there that it's almost impossible to control. I mean, I'm afraid to even step out on the floor during an interview that I'm going to cause a sweating problem. Everybody in here is sweating, whatever.
49-32, 17-point Bedford lead. The Stars have the basketball with 54 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Bailey flashes out on top. He's got the one-on-one, works inside. He's fouled from behind. Tracy Doty.
Tell you the truth, Tom, for the obvious physical shape that Scottsburg in, I don't think they're doing too bad a job on Damon Bailey as far as defense goes. They're fouling him, but they're not giving him the easy shot. They're working. They're still double and triple teaming him. He's still having to work very hard out there. Watch him as he goes in. There you see people come out of nowhere wearing yellow shirts. Number 22, Tracy Doty, the one that finally got him.
Bailey missed his last free throw attempt, but he hits this one. 4 to tie. What do you think? Makes the free throw, and next trip hits the three-pointer. Makes it.
I think he's going to try a three-pointer, too, just the drama of it. I'd rather see him hit a three-pointer and make it a dramatic tie than to come up with a free throw.
20 points for Damon Bailey. To the other end, Doty puts up the shot and in. Tracy Doty scores. He's got 8. 51-34. Bedford in trouble here, but they break the press into the forecourt. Mills tried to go to Bailey, throws it away. Here come the Warriors back. Doty puts it up. No. Rebound, Lambrick, 15 seconds left. To Bailey with 13. 12 seconds. Needs 3 to tie. Gives it up to Cummings. 7 seconds. Bailey with 4 seconds. He'll work the right side. Puts it up and in! He needs 1 point. Needs just 1. 22 points for Damon Bailey, and he's got 8 minutes to score 2 points to be the all-time leading scorer. Needs 1 point. And this place is going crazy.
I think short of a ball and chain, there is no way you're going to be able to stop him. You know, he is so unselfish. You just get the idea that he's never quite showing you all the weapons that he's got. I mean, he can do it all. That time it looked like the ball was slapped as he went up. One point Damon Bailey needs, and again, I hope it's going to be a three-pointer. Bedford up by 19 at the end of 3. $8,100 people, at least, jammed into Barney Scott Gymnasium to see history being made on this warm March night.
Will it be at the free throw line? Will it be a field goal? Will it be the three-pointer? We may find out right now with 7:56 to go in the basketball game, and Bedford with a 19-point lead. Almost a traveling violation as Mills works inside. From behind, he's fouled by Sean Owens, and Owens has fouled out of the basketball game. The 6'4" senior will leave with just 2 points here in this contest. And he will get a nice hand from the faithful Warrior crowd who have watched their team play some excellent basketball this season. And watch that young man average 13.3 points a game.
Played very well on a tough night, and he is getting a well-deserved standing ovation from people everywhere. This is Charlestown people, New Albany people. You know, I think a lot of the people normally go home, but I don't think many people gave up their tickets tonight. If they did, they're probably a little wealthier than what they were when they started out this morning.
Free throw is good by Chad Mills. The thing about this is, Tom, is that there's only going to be some 8,300 people that will witness this here in the gym, and then another several thousand via our live broadcast. You can count yourself lucky, but he's still got to score 1 point to tie and 2 to go ahead. Pass underneath, nice pass, shot up and in. Number 23, Johnny Gillian, the Warriors will not say die.
That was a very nice feed, and as you say, they're not out of it yet.
Bailey gives it up to Cummings. Inside the bush, there's Bailey.
Boy, they come up. I'll tell you, as soon as he gets the ball, they come up. The fans I'm talking about.
Exactly. When it touches his fingertips, everybody rises to their feet. They don't want to miss it. There he is. Is that it? No, he dishes it off. Bailey-like character dishes it off to Lambrick. He gets another assist.
It's not whether Scottsburg can stop him, it's whether he decides he wants it or not.
And at the other end, the shot up and in by number 23, Johnny Gillian. And to the other end, the lay-in by Jason Lambrick. 6:44 to go in the basketball game. 59 Bedford, 38 Scottsburg. 3 on the way, off the iron, no good. Rebound to Jamie Cummings as Tracy Doty misfires. You hear the crowd say shoot when Bailey touches the basketball. Cummings with it. There's Bailey. Is it it? History, baby! Damon Bailey, 3,020 points. And timeout called. What a great gesture by Scottsburg to call a timeout right here as Damon Bailey has become the new all-time scoring leader in Indiana. 3,020 career points. Congratulations, Damon Bailey.
Crowd says it all. And as you said, a very class act by Scottsburg to call a timeout so that these 8,300 people, probably 8,300 people, can give Damon a hand. Here it is. Get the tape machine going. Play goes into Damon. He turns around as softly as ever has. Only touched the bottom of the net.
I don't know about you, sir, but that baby's going in my video library for keeps.
And everybody in this place is emotionally fired up except one guy sitting down here to our left who is kind of drooling a little bit and thinking about what number 32 is going to look like in an Indiana uniform next year. But he doesn't show a bit of emotion.
61-38. Three-pointer on the way, in and out, won't go down. To Chad Marley. The general, enjoying a game for a change, huh?
I think he is.
Bailey flashes to the hoop! It's in! And we got timeout on the floor.
Could be that we were a little early.
They've stopped the basketball game.
We needed 26 tonight, wasn't it?
We were just a hair, 1 point early. That was the tie, the last basket, so the lay-in on the alley-oop was the one to put him ahead.
And Bob Knight now is giving him his due. Bob Knight has turned and is giving him his due. You can kind of see it in the dark. He's up here with us. Damon Bailey, the all-time scoring leader in Indiana high school basketball, and that does not begin to tell the story. There are people that say that he got it because the three-point rule came in. There's people that say he got it because he played 4 years instead of 3. You have to counter that. You have to counter that with the idea that Damon Bailey gives up about half the shots that he could probably take. And he can play with anybody, anywhere, anytime.
63-38. Your score, Bedford leads Scottsburg, and there is your all-time leading score. And this crowd's not going to let it be silent. Listen to this crowd. So with 6:15 to go in the fourth quarter, he tied it with a little 10-foot jumper off the left side. And with the leaping ability that he has had throughout his 4 years at Bedford, puts it in on the alley-oop pass. Here's a three at the other end, is good by Chad Marley. 26 points for Bailey. Alley-oop to Bailey again, and he's fouled. This one will go on number 34. Steve Schaefer.
I'll tell you, I remember first time I saw Damon play, I heard that he was coming out. I was doing some Columbus East games with you, Columbus East, Columbus North. We went down there to do a Bedford game that Jody Littrell played in, and I remember the people talking about for the next 4 years, you won't believe the guy that's coming up here, and Damon Bailey, and that has certainly proven true.
Every basket now a new record to attain by the fellows that are maybe even sitting in this gymnasium, waiting for their chance.
You got to feel, too, that perhaps Scottsburg is a little bit in awe right now. They're just kind of going through the motions.
To the other end we go. Johnny Gillian puts it up and in. 20 points.
Let's take a look at the shot down close of Damon. Here you see that just letting him know where he's at on the floor. Pass comes into him. Number 34 is going to back into him just a little bit, get him out of there.
Boy, you saw the fans immediately react. There wasn't a person in this gymnasium that didn't know that he had officially set the record with that basket.
This place is going to be bedlam. We're going to try real hard to get some good interviews down there, particularly the one with Damon. You have to realize that as we get to the floor, there's going to be about 5 cameras, and I understand one of the Louisville stations is sending a copter up here. But we will work hard to give you fans, particularly you fans back in Bedford watching this game tonight, a chance to hear what Damon has to say.
And it's up and in. Damon 7 out of 9 from the free throw line, 29 points. To the other end, the shot on the way around, no good. Bailey gets the rebound. 66-43. Down to the 5-minute mark to go in the basketball game. Right side. Bounce pass down low. Shot up and no good. Ball battled for, slapped out of bounds. It belongs to Bedford. Last touch by the Warriors of Scottsburg. 66-43 with 4:50 to go here in the basketball game. Bedford with the ball and the lead. Bailey tip pass to Lambrick. Here's a 3 on the way by Bush. Bounces high off the rim. The tip by Lambrick. He picks up the personal foul. That'll be his 3rd.
Alan Bush, not a lot of success with a three-pointer tonight. He is 1 for 6. And quite honestly, most of them haven't been real close. But again, if I had to attribute that to something, I would just attribute it to the fact that it's just outright fatigue. These guys on both teams have just got to be dead.
Shot up and in. Damon Bailey's tonight has scored 29 points in this basketball game. Shot up and in from the free throw line by number 23, Johnny Gillian.
Good defense by Scottsburg. They're still running a full court press out there trying to get the ball. You got to give them credit for that. They're not going to give up.
Nice.
Now they're starting to unload the benches a little bit.
I was going to say nice hand as
Lambrick left the game.
yes.
Played a great game.
Stevens in, off balance shot up and in. Paul Stevens.
And he still hasn't missed a shot
When
today.
they go across that S.
7 points for Stevens.
Yeah.
I think we're tired. The emotion of the day.
No, I'm in awe because the number that I was given when we started, according to our stats, are correct unless they changed the three-pointer he got in this game to a 2. We had him setting the record correctly, but apparently we did not. So we did not receive stats from Bedford, and we got a player down at the far end. It's a 4-on-5. Shot on the way up and in, and we got a player hurt bad at the other end. And they finally see it. Someone from Scottsburg went down hard and has not gotten up. And they're asking for assistance from the bench area.
Looked like he might have collapsed, and that does not look good at all. Number 22, Doty's the one that got the shot. Oh, it looked like I'm not sure.
Did you faint?
No.
Let's take a look and see what happened. Now watch number 20. There you go. That's a
He
pulled
split.
groin right there. That's when it goes down. You kind of do the splits. That probably is what that is. It's awfully painful. Of course, tonight, as hot as it is, and if you don't get enough water, you're going to get a little bit of a muscle cramp. He'll be all right. I think he's done for the night. Number 20, Jeff McNeely. We're going to try to get him to the bench. Very painful, but he'll be all right. We're checking our records a bit to see exactly how many points Damon has.
Well, the calls to try to get the correct information was very tough. We went by a newspaper article, but I have learned a big lesson: never trust a newspaper article. Just kidding.
Fans are filing out here now. I think you can tell what they kind of came to see. This game's long been history. Bedford is going to move on to the semi-state. They're going to play the winner of Terre Haute North and Shakamak. The Lakers.
Bailey, the big story, and now it seems like the emotion is down just a bit after he set the record. Now everything from here on in is addition to the record. Bush with the basketball, top of the key. Double team, no foul called there. Bounce pass inside, ball's loose, pulled out of there by number 30, John Ashley. 68-47 your score. Inside layup, tip, good. The layup missed by number 11, Marley, but the follow by Tracy Doty. He puts it up and in, he's got a dozen. Cummings with the basketball. And a foul on Bush.
I'm telling you, this game has long been gone, and Dan Bush is irate at his team. He does not give up. If you think Dan Bush is going to go over and sit on the end of the bench and let this game kind of go into the record books, you got another thing coming. He is extremely intense. He knows what's down the road. One of the things that he wants is a state championship, and he knows that unless he can keep these guys fired up, it's not going to come. Because this game tonight has been rather easy, but you got to get through the Terre Haute semi-state, and then you got to, of course, get into a very tough Final Four where you've got teams waiting like Lawrence North, who has already beaten Bedford once this year. You got Terre Haute North that could be there. You got Gary Roosevelt still alive. You've got Concord still out there, a very tough team. You just got to keep on these guys, and I know a lot of people don't understand that, but boy, he's an intense guy.
68-49 your score. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Abersol Florist, serving New Albany and the Louisville metro area, for bringing you this broadcast. All-Star Sports Bar and Grill in Clarksville. By Dennis Ott and Company, Construction Services, New Albany. By Wayman Chrysler, exit 29A off of I-65 in Scottsburg, Indiana. By the INB Bank Center, 17 locations to serve you in Clark, Floyd, and Harrison counties. Boutadir makes it 1 second. There it is. And the final score in the 1990 Seymour Boys Regional Basketball Tournament: Bedford 78, Scottsburg 58. Tom Rust is in the crowd, and let's go down to Tom Rust with Damon Bailey, the record setter.
Damon Bailey, I don't know what's tougher tonight, thinking about whether or not you could score the record or trying to win this game. Did you have a hard time keeping your mind on the game tonight, knowing that record was in sight?
No, not really, because the record, that means nothing to me. We still got 4 more games to play, hopefully. That's what we're shooting for. We weren't shooting for no record or individual statistics. We're going for a state championship, and, I think we've got the team here that can do it.
It looked like fatigue might be a problem tonight on both sides. It looked like you had a little bit of trouble getting started, and it also looked like they had troubles too. Any problems that way?
Well, yeah, we were a little tired, but that was just part of the game.
Okay, I know you gotta go. Thank you. All right.
Okay, there we had a word with him, and the team at half court now as they celebrate. Bedford will advance on to the semi-state action. As you see, the team going through a ritual here. There it is. Media swamping the floor area. They have the center court circled, and now the presentation of the championship trophy and the game ball. Tom is working his way in the crowd area, and while he is doing that, you will see Damon Bailey, 3,024 points. That is unofficial. If we're off, folks, it's 1 point, and I don't think that matters anymore, do you? He is the record setter, and that's a fact, and we saw it happen. We saw the tying basket and the record-setting basket, and it may turn out we had it right in the first place, but we shall see. But the applause, a handshake to Damon Bailey as he becomes a career scoring record, and I believe he's going to say something to the crowd right now, maybe. Are they going to give him the mic? I don't think he's going to say anything to the crowd. I think he's just there to accept the ball on the plaque. Wished luck in the semi-state tournament. There you see outgoing athletic director Walt Winton. What a memorable time for him. He'll never forget this. All the work that went into putting this tournament together year after year, and a great time here now as the celebration continues on the court. We'll get some scoring for you here in just a few moments as we...
We're sticking close to him, aren't they? Cops.
Bedford now going to set up for a team picture. As you see, head coach Dan Bush in the background. Toilet paper being hurled. that has become a ritualistic thing, I guess, with the high school teams now to shower the floor with the rolls of tissue. Not real bad here. It happened for just a moment as Bailey set the record, and they cleaned the floor off and got on with the game. The final score tonight, as you see Damon there with his teammates, 78-58. And not a lot of people leaving, wanting to cherish this moment for a long, long time. Well, as if we could, if we could get someone to the scorers table, let's get an official count on that scoring tonight, so we can pass that along to our viewers and see if we're very close. I believe we are. I know we're within 1 point. The tying basket, the 10-footer on the left wing area, and the go-ahead basket that tied him. And the go-ahead basket was the alley-oop play to the inside where he laid it up in traffic and put it in. Let's go down to Tom Rust now. He's getting ready to set up for an interview here with the Bedford head coach, Dan Bush. There he is. Let's take it down to Tom Rust.
The floor, 78-58, Bedford North Lawrence wins the regional. Coach Bush, with all the media attention, with everything going on as far as record goes and everything, must be a terrible job trying to concentrate on winning a regional.
Well, I tell you what, it's pretty tough. It's been pretty tough all year. It's like a circus, but the kids, I think, handle it a whole lot better than I handle it. I know I get tired of it, and it gets old, but it's certainly worth it to have a player like Damon Bailey.
I'll tell you this, too. He is a fantastic ball player tonight, and certainly it seems like every game he comes out and he does something different. Tonight, he played a lot different than he did against New Albany. Is there any weaknesses that he has at all?
Well, he's just a terrific all-around player, and I said this before. He is the best all-around player to ever play in the high schools in Indiana. There've been better shooters, there've probably been better rebounders. I'm not sure there's been better passers, but for the total package, I don't think there's anybody that's ever played that's any better than him.
I'll tell you this, though, there are some other players on your team that really shine. I thought Jason Lambert had a fine game tonight. Your son played well this afternoon. You know, there are other players on this team.
Well, yeah, we've got some other kids that can play. Jamie Cummings is an outstanding player. Allen has played real well for us all year. Jason Lambert played well. Chad Mills played terrific tonight. Paul Stevens came off the bench and did a great job. Dwayne Curry is a real scrapper. He really gets in there and does it. I tell you what, I'm real happy with them. I'm real happy for them. And, you know, hopefully we're not finished. We want to go ahead.
Okay, just to finish, any quick message you want to send to the fans watching back in Bedford?
No. Keep supporting us. We'll try to keep going.
All right, that's it from down here, Tom. Coach Bush with the winner. The Bedford wins the regional.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Let's take a look at the unofficial scoring for tonight's basketball game. On the Scottsburg side, Tracy Doty had 12 points in the contest. Owens had 2. Ashley with 2. scoring 14 points tonight, Chad Marley. Johnny Gillian tonight with 22 points. And Henry with 2 late. Wolf had 2 late, and Cross had a free throw. And I believe Tom has another interview. Let's take it back down to Tom Rush.
Hey, we're back on the floor down here again as they're getting ready to cut down the nets. We pulled a star, Jason Lambrick, and he's not just because it says stars on his shirt. Jason, fine game tonight, really.
Thanks.
I know that it must be a real thrill to play with Damon. What are some of the thoughts that are going through your mind right now?
Oh, I think this is just great, but hopefully we're not done yet. Hopefully we got 4 more games to win.
When he comes out of the game, late in the game a lot of times, and you're still in there, does that change your thoughts any about what you can do?
No, not really. Normally when he comes out of the game, that means we've already got 1.
All right, we got some fans back in Bedford. You want to say anything to them?
Hello to everybody in Bedford, and thanks for supporting us.
All right, there you go, Jason. Thanks. Good game. Okay.
All right, we're back. I'm checking up here, trying to get a little assistance to give you a correct total of points so you can remember this game and the broadcast tonight and how many Bailey does have going into semi-state action, but he will be adding to that. I am quite sure. The final score here in this one tonight, 78-58. Bedford wins it going away. And Tom still working the floor area, trying to get a word with a few more of the players here while we have the time. Seymour Regional Final celebration. The Bedford North Lawrence Stars, the winner. And they win it 3 out of the 4 years they were in it with Damon Bailey. And let's go back down now to Tom here in just a moment. I understand he's lost himself in the crowd again, and that's very easy to do. There's about 2,000 people on the floor here of the Barney Scott Gymnasium, so we'll wait on him just a couple of moments here while he does the work. And while we're doing that, let's go to the scoring for Bedford. Ryan Mutadir had 2 points in the contest. Paul Stevens tonight had 9. Alan Bush had 6, and Chad Mills with 8. We'll have more scoring for you here in just a moment. Let's take it down to Tom Rust with the coach's son, Alan Bush.
All right, we're back down here in the middle of this bedlam. Alan Bush, the coach's son, a 3-point shooter extraordinaire. And I'll tell you what, Alan, I got to tell you this. Your dad is he really wants you to play hard, doesn't he? He really gets on you.
Oh yeah, he gets on me more than everybody else, but I expect that.
When you go home at night, does he still continue to talk about the game, or can you forget it?
Well, he's gotten better at that as the seasons went on. He kind of keeps his mouth shut when we get home.
Tonight, or this afternoon, you had a good game against New Albany. You really kind of lit it up from 3-point range. Tonight, it got a little tough. Were you a little tired?
Oh, well, I don't know if I was tired or not. I was just maybe more pumped up tonight than I was today. The shots didn't fall, so you just got to work on the other aspects of the game.
20 years from now, when you have grandkids, and you say, hey, I used to play with Damon Bailey, what are you going to tell them? That's a tough question, isn't it?
Well, I just played with the greatest player that ever set foot on a basketball floor is what I'm going to tell them.
All right. Well, Alan, thank you for stopping by. Have you cut down any net yet?
No, sir, I haven't.
All right, well, you better get over there. All right, Tom, take it away. We'll look and see if we can find some more down here.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Back to the scoring. Damon Bailey, 31 points. He did have 31 tonight. We know that is official. The only question we have is what his total is for the career. And as far as we know, we cannot get a correct figure on that. So the figure we showed you is very, very close if it is not correct. Jamie Cummings with 9 points tonight. Jason Lambrick had 12 points. And that's your scoring. Your final score tonight, 78-58, Bedford over Scottsburg. I'd like to thank all of our fine sponsors for bringing you this broadcast as the celebration continues. Your final score, again, Bedford 78, Scottsburg 58. You've been watching the Seymour Boys Regional Final on Cardinal Interconnect Sports. Good night, everybody.